And now we're at my favorite part of every job, is the driveway. Again, I don't know why I like it so much, but it's just kind of my thing. The road was in good shape, they tell me. They had it finished out and good. But that trench running down the middle of it is where they put the utilities, electricity, and I think they ran the water from the well down there up through it too. So it just needs to be reshaped and some fresh material put on it. So here we go with this part. Okay, so in that little clip, what you were seeing me do is actually cut this slope off of this ditch line, and you can tell that it's a jagged ditch line and it's got drops in it. So anytime you've got even a slight drop in the water along a ditch line, for one, when it drops, it starts to spin. And when it spins, it starts cutting that ditch deeper. Also, I prefer to do a ditch line, or not even a ditch at all, but more of a really wide sloping shoulder. That way, as the water flow gets heavier, it more or less spreads out instead of getting deeper. On this side of a mountain, you know, you've only got so much room to work with before you run into big boulders and stuff, so you work with what you've got. But whoever cut this road was pretty much just roughing it in. I don't think they intended for this to be a finished product. So what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and just going up this ditch line and grading this back. I'd guess probably about a 45. It doesn't have to be super specific. Also, the reason in the mountains that I don't like to do a sudden ditch line is when it snows, if you get close to that ditch line, it's a sudden drop off. Once you get grabbed by that snow, you're in the ditch and you're not coming back out. So with these more gradual slopes, you can feel it kind of start to tilt you, and you'll feel that ditch line grab you, and you've got a little bit of a chance to work your way away from that ditch. But these short, narrow ditches just don't really work well, and they erode worse. So let's cut this ditch line on up, and then we'll drive up and down it and pack it in. So we've gotten the road on a rough grade of what I want. I'm going to go through here. There's quite a few riprap sized rocks all mixed in, a few in the ditch. And what I'm going to do is I pick those rocks out, I'm actually going to throw them into the ditch. Why? Because I'm going to build several little 4 and 5 rock dams, starting at the edges and working my way in. They'll be U-shaped, and what those will do during the first couple of rains, there's going to be some silting in here from this loose material, so those rocks are going to break up that current. It's not going to be a solid little stream of water. It's going to break it up. It's going to also slow it down. Anytime that water slows down, it can't carry that silt like it does when it's flowing fast. So it's going to start depositing that silt on the uphill side of those little dams, and it'll create these little silt pond like areas instead of silting up. The culvert pipe down here, like it has this past time, I've taken the bucket and took a scoop out, and there's just barely any of this pipe left exposed. hopefully it hasn't gone too long and I'll be able to clean this out and take my shovel and clean it on up a little bit and save that pipe. When they get silted up, a lot of times the cheapest thing to do is to just go ahead and rip it out and put a new pipe in, as opposed to trying to blow it out. They do make tools that you can start on one end of the pipe and work its way in. It flushes that material out, but I think it just takes more expense than to just rip a pipe out and stick a new one in. So I'll go ahead and get this finished on out and get these little dams built. Alright, so there's a couple of them anyway, that'll help. So let's just get this graded on out and packed in. So, we're waiting on Jared Wells that owns Willow Creek Trucks. We're a little bit farther out than we normally go, so we're using him and his tri-axle to haul bigger loads of gravel to help save our customers some money. So, I think I hear him coming now. Well, we got everything graded exactly the way we want. Now I'm going to jump on the roller and compact it so it stays the way I want it to. Okay, with that, hopefully you guys can see the difference in just putting road bond down and tracking it in with the truck, and then the benefit of using the roller. The roller vibrates, so all those fines mixed in with that 3/4 gravel and the road bond, it really works them in really tight. And ideally it would have been good if we could have gotten water to wet this road down just a little bit before we rolled it, but even though we've got a well, I couldn't find a water access. So there was a little moisture in this from the rain yesterday, so it's packed in really well. And that concludes this job. If you guys have a driveway, whether it's flat or steep, I believe we can do you a good job. You guys give us a call. We'd love to work for you.